Hi, I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to my video cartoon for June 7th, 2025. Here we have Russian President Putin and his Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov watching the feud here between President Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and this was President Trump's what he put up on Truth Social the other day, and they're reacting to that in the Kremlin here. And I want to read you the introduction to this cartoon before we get into that. This is Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov reacting to Truth Social post of President Donald Trump threatening the billions and billions of dollars in government contracts of Elon Musk, apparently including those with the U.S. Department of Defense. Example, his SpaceX, which provides launch services of satellites. Okay, now these satellites are basically, but trying to make it very clear, what they do is the satellites are used for security of the United States in two ways. First of all, they could be used to spot other enemy missiles coming in terms of what's going on up there and any threats. And more specifically, if there was an attack of we hear about these hypersonic missiles that travel 20 times the speed of sound, Mach 20, and they zigzag and they don't follow the traditional trajectory of regular missiles. So it makes it very difficult for the U.S. to shoot them down. I think that it was suspected that the other day in Israel that the Israelis, and if the Israelis can't shoot it down, it's something we got to worry about. And the missile got through, and people suspected that it was a hypersonic missile that was launched against Israel the other day, and it got through there through their defenses and did damage. So this is the concern here now: is our defense is being antiquated by these hypersonic missiles. So basically, President Trump has suggested here he's moving forward with in what Israel had was called the Iron Dome. President Trump's version of the Iron Dome for the United States is Golden Dome. Now, Elon Musk has said that he has nothing to do with this development of Golden Dome. However, that's his statement. But there are contracts that he has with the Defense Department to launch satellites into outer space. You see, and these satellites, they take off. They do the missiles. These missile launches. He has these missile launches that launch satellites into outer space through his missiles. Now the thing is, the technology, what basically behind the Golden Dome, is that because these things go like that, and they travel at the speed of light, very hard to catch them in that stage when they enter the atmosphere. But if you could catch them in outer space before they do all that crazy stuff, going the speed of 20 Mach 20 and zigzag and all that, if you could catch them in their in a more dormant stage before they boost into that type of scenario, you could shoot them down, perhaps with some sort of a kinetic energy or a laser focused beam of some nature from a satellite. And Elon Musk has contracts to put up these satellites. Whether he's with Trump's Golden Dome theory, he's denied that. But the fact is that he has these contracts, and he is involved with our national security. Okay, and cancel these contracts would hurt our national security. There's no question about that. Irrespective of Golden Dome. So that's a point. And what I also want to say is that the other day when our astronauts couldn't get back a while ago, they couldn't get back. Elon Musk was used as a backup to bring them back home. So without Elon Musk, we would have had to go to the Russians for that. So this is the back that now people saying, well, we shouldn't rely on one man to be be dependent on such one man, and it's that. But again, that's after the fact. That's like saying we shouldn't have let the Chinese make so many of our products here. The clock I'm looking at right now is made in China. Everything you buy, look around your house, everything's made in China. So the cat's already out of the bag. The ship has already sailed. With Elon Musk, the ship has sailed, and with China, the ship has sailed. And you're putting, well, I don't want to get into the tariffs, but I'm saying here there's some sort of an analogy that can be made here with all these tariffs, and now with cutting all Elon Musk's contracts. Because if you don't have Elon Musk, we wouldn't have those astronauts would have been still up there in the International Space Station, and again, going back to missile launch, the launching of those satellites. Who's going to take those satellites up there into space? Who's going to do that? So you like, it's like cutting your nose to spite your face in a way, and same thing with the tariffs, is what I'm saying here. There's some sort of an analogy there that I'm making. Nobody else has said that. I'm saying it. That's my opinion. And okay, all right. So now, including those, feud that began over Musk's criticism of Trump's big beautiful bill. Now, what happened here is that Elon Musk, with his Dodge stuff, wants to cut. His mission was to cut, and bring the debt down and create a more balanced situation. So, but President Trump's bill doesn't do that enough, and so he was very critical of the bill that President Trump's big beautiful bill, and that sparked and ignited and got blah, blah, blah. And finally we came to a situation where Musk decided, quote, time to drop the really big bomb. That's what his words were, which unloaded an accusation about the president regarding the so-called Epstein files. So I'm not going there at all. I'm just saying that this is the true nature of these two gentlemen are to pull out all the stops, Now, and to fight as hard as they can, and so what? But the problem here is that Trump is the president of the United States. If Musk, he hurts his companies and this and that, but here we have the president of the United States partaking in this kind of dystopian struggle, a battle, and it's jeopardizing the security of the United States. So what I'm saying here is that I think I'm making just a suggestion that President Trump should think a little bit about the United States a little bit, rather than the feud over his big beautiful bill. Because without the United States, the big beautiful bill doesn't mean too much if we don't have the United States of America around. That's basically what I'm saying here. All right, so here it is. Here's the cartoon, and here is President Trump's tweet. Here he goes. His Truth Social post. I shouldn't say tweet anymore. This is a Truth Social post. This is his social network here, and here he goes. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Now all of a sudden he's surprised. Biden has such a smart guy now. He's so smart. He didn't do it. So the thing about it here is that this is all because, of course, Elon Musk is saying there should be more cuts. So President Trump is kind of teeing off like on the golf course, teeing off on that remark and say, well, maybe we should cut some of Elon Musk's work. Even though it's national security, that we cut his work. We should cut his funding, and we'll save billions and billions of dollars from that. That should make him happy. So it's a little sarcasm there from the president there. And then you have here, this is my conceived conversation between Russian President Putin and and his foreign minister, Sergio Lavrov. We've seen him a lot around at the he's been at the UN, and we've seen him talking some points. And here it is. Here he's going. President Putin, with no Elon Musk, the U.S. won't be able to shoot down Chinese balloons, let alone our hypersonic missiles. So that's what he's saying there. Remember those balloons that went right across our nation? They went right over the whole country until we finally shut them down. Remember that? Okay. And now we have here President Putin retorting back, Mr. Lavrov, and they can rescue their astronauts by calling their AAA, that's the American Automobile Association, their space division. Send the tow trucks up there. That's kind of a little joke I made up here. But that's what would have happened if not for Elon Musk. The Russians would have us over another barrel in terms of getting our astronauts home, and they're the only ones who could have done it. So that's the fundamental thrust of my cartoon here, is to make the point that if a lot of people now talking about, well, you shouldn't have one man. Forget about the idea of what Elon Musk has said. The hypothetical position, the position that we shouldn't have one person who had so much so much power and so much. But then again, the ship sailed. We're here. This is where we are right now. Total said we're going to cancel contracts and this and that and go that way. I mean, it's after the fact. America has to survive in this world of hypersonic missiles. Now the Houthis got missiles. So what happens if the Houthis get hypersonic missiles someday? What happens then when the Houthis have hypersonic missiles? They're getting off. So I'm just it's hypothetical. I'm just doing this as an extreme example. So there you have it, folks. Thank you for watching my video. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.